We just got to get on board and focus on what matters.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that was such good stuff.
Bro.
Very good.
Bars. Oh, my gracious.
I used to be a rapper.
Nah.
Yeah, it was over at Belk.
Oh, yeah.
Like a gift wrapper?
Yeah, just
Okay.
All right, Irwin, get out.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Together Talks Podcast. I'm Joshua Pugh, joined here by our wonderful co-host hailing from Monroeville, Alabama.
That's right.
XL's very own Hagen and Josh, Carter Harrison.
Wow, that's quite the intro.
The whole name.
Okay.
And on the AMV, my good friend, hailing from Columbus, Georgia, the owner and CEO of Brad Smith Media, Mr. Philip Bradley Smith. Shout out to
boys?
Brad.
Who you can't see today because
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. So
we were going to have a phone up ready to go, but
We
Josh
were.
kind of dropped the ball on that one. There's his
So
fingers right
there's
there.
his finger.
I am here. Glad
He
to be
is
here. Glad to be here with you boys.
Thank you, Brad.
Our
Shout out
guest
to
today,
Brad.
though, is none other than Mr. Focus Files himself.
Focus
the
Files.
Andrew Irwin
Hey.
from
Woo!
SBC Laurel.
I'm just glad to be here. Did I hear him say that your middle name is Hagen-Dazs?
No, that's like the type of ice
So-
cream.
Hey, it's good ice cream. I
It's
take
good
it for a
ice
middle
cream.
name as well.
you're not
It is
wrong.
good. So I've called him Hagen-Dazs since he's gotten here, but his middle name is Carter.
Yeah,
Carter. Hey,
which is a really unique middle name. A lot of people like it.
It's-
I don't not like it. It's it is
I
what it is.
had a Coach Carter one time.
Coach Gears in that movie.
Wait a minute.
The movie and a real person.
Coach Carter, the movie.
The movie was better.
You had a Coach Carter?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That is pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Well, let's kind of jump into it, man. One thing we kind of do to all of our guests on here is I'm just interested in hearing about everybody's like church background. You know, did they grow up in church? Is that something they've always done?
Amen.
And then, kind of what led you to the point where you are today? Have you always wanted to do ministry? Is there something that kind of happened in your life to make you kind of want to do that later on? Just kind of share the story on your church background, your life, and how you're where you are today.
Gotcha. So kind of my testimony, but yeah, I mean, I was definitely in church 9 months before I was born, kind of deal. My dad's dad was a pastor for over 50 years. My mom's dad was a music minister for a long time as well. So
Yeah.
Both sides, and but I grew up at Star Baptist Church, Star, Mississippi. Shout out to Star. And,
Shout out to Star.
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill. Met her several times. Yeah.
Watch out.
She's cool. And
wild.
but I have not met Tim. But yeah, I grew up there. Great church. That's where I kind of was formed as far as like the spiritual formation in my life. Had a great pastor. He actually preached my ordination service. His name Vic Bowman. Great pastor. He was a missionary before he became a pastor. So
Yeah.
missions was poured into me in my early years of church. And so that was, I didn't really know it at the time, but that definitely was foundational for my future.
For sure.
And so he is awesome. I grew up there, went to church there until I was about 15. Gave my life to Christ at the age of 7. And then I surrendered to the ministry at age 18. But it was one of those deals where I really tried to run away from it. And people told me early on in my life, you're going to be a minister. And I don't know about you, but that kind of made me not want to do it.
Right.
And so I can remember a conversation I had with my headmaster at my school. I went to a Christian school, and he brought me in one day. I was like the only guy in my grade that had all A's, and he said, "Irwin," that's what everybody called me. "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I'm going into ministry." And it was like I was standing beside myself, looking at myself, thinking, "Did I just say that?" Because
You
that's not really what I thought.
Yeah.
And so then I started thinking, is this really what God has for me? People have been telling me, I've been kind of feeling it, but I was wrestling with it. So I really, those next few months, battled with that, and luckily God sent people in my life, like my youth pastor, Lewis Zink. Shout out to Lewis Zink. And he used Lewis, he used other guys, Brett Frazier, to really pour into my life and really solidify that calling that, hey, you couldn't run away from it. You're called to ministry.
Yeah.
And so I surrendered to the ministry when I was 18, and it's been awesome. Not been easy, but God doesn't call us to comfort; He calls us to Himself.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be it's a great journey.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Awesome.
That's kind of similar to my story. Just I didn't get saved till I was 17, and then kind of felt led to ministry, but at the same time it was like I don't really know, And then very similar. God used very specific people to kind of pour into me, and my youth pastor at the time, Joey Johnson, really just kind of had a prophetic moment with that, and just really it's kind of one of those things I was praying, like, is this really something I need to do? And then he pretty much just was like, at the time, Pastor Joey didn't know anything about it. And there was a moment where he was just like, yeah, this, you got to do it. And I was like, you didn't even know about this. So totally a God thing. But yeah, I've been in it since, gosh, that's probably when I was 18 or 19 as well. And it's been, like you said, it hadn't been easy by any means, but it's definitely been worth it. And looking forward to what's to come. So, Josh, do you have anything to add on to that?
I'm soaking it up. I'm sitting.
Yeah, and the thing is, I grew up Baptist, and I was about as Baptist as it gets.
Really?
Like Bible drill, RAs, all of those things, and I'm still Baptist, but I definitely am more open-minded as far as like, hey, let's just work together and reach people.
Yeah.
Let's not get caught up in our differences. Let's get caught up in Christ.
Yeah.
Amen.
And so, yeah. But hey, shout out to my Baptist friends out there.
Oh, yeah, for
Got to
sure.
represent and do that right way.
I do, just kind of going off of that, me, you, Taylor, and Nathan went somewhere. It's been about a week now. So if you're watching this, when it drops, this will have been a couple weeks ago. I don't want to say where because it's kind of a surprise that we're working on. But when we were at lunch, you said something that, just kind of piqued my interest. You were like, if this was 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be doing this. And I was like, what do you mean doing this? And you were like, working with other churches, and just kind of talked about how, early on it was all about just trying to be right. And so I'm just kind of curious, what's kind of changed or shifted in the last few years to kind of get you from that mindset to where you are now, where, you don't want to just be open to everything, obviously, but you are more open to kind of working with other people and developing those relationships in that kingdom. So just what has kind of changed in the last few years, and how has that kind of worked?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say, if you care more about being right than you do the relationship, you can be right, but you'll be right by yourself. And so I think you gotta.
That's good.
Hey,
that
that just came out of my mouth. I don't know what happened there.
Hey,
But
That smacks.
and so I know for me, it may be just the environment that I was in, and you definitely have to stay true to your convictions. But
Right.
you gotta realize what those convictions are and the tiers of those convictions. Not like tears, but tiers.
Yeah.
What's the primary conviction? Like, if we don't agree with the gospel, then we can't partner. But if we disagree on some secondary issues, okay, that's fine. And that's kind of the conclusion I've come to is like, man, I don't want this. I don't want my ministry to be just a First Baptist ministry, even though I love First Baptist. Laurel, shout out. That's my employer.
Right.
Love them. But it also is like, there's just a lot of lost people in Jones County that don't care if I'm Baptist or care if I'm non-denominational. They just need to know Jesus.
Yeah.
And so that's the most important part. And if we put that primary, and the world sees that, no matter our skin color, no matter our political affiliation, like if the gospel's forefront and center, I think God will draw people to Himself. He don't have to even wait for us. He's doing that. We just got to get on board and focus on what matters.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that was such good stuff.
Bro,
very good.
bars. Oh my gracious.
I used to be a rapper.
Nah.
Yeah,
Can
it was over at Belk.
Oh yeah,
Like a gift wrapper?
Yeah, just
Okay.
All right, Irwin, get out.
Yeah, this has been great. Anyway.
that was awful. I hated that.
Yeah, I love it.
You're welcome,
man.
Jake.
I
Brad
appreciate
loved
it.
it.
I do.
I got the
Yeah,
puns.
Brad Wood, he's like 40.
Hey, I've got the dad bod and the dad joke. So I just need a wife.
There you go.
Hey,
Hey, he who finds a wife finds a good
Hey,
thing.
Single,
hey,
One day.
amen.
single, saved, and searching. That's how I describe
Hey, yeah,
myself.
if you're a single lady
This
watching
guy.
this, you know, got our
This is
man
my
Irwin
boy
right
Andrew.
here.
He saved me from a burning building one time.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too. He saved me and Josh
Yeah.
Me
at the
too.
same time.
And
And
Brad.
I was
yeah.
there, yeah.
It was such a wild night. We didn't even
Wow.
remember each other were there.
Pastor James?
You too?
And Pastor James.
I've even kind of blurred that moment out.
Yeah, see, because you do so much.
Yeah.
You save so many people. It's
I was
totally
actually
understandable.
videoing it on Focus Files at the time.
No.
This has gotten so stupid.
What are we doing? No, I want to tag on what you said earlier though. You said what you said about if you're working about being right, it's more about you'll be right by yourself. I just think that's really cool. The church I was at in Starkville, and if you've listened to this podcast or watched this show, you probably heard me say this at one point, but the pastor there, Pastor Johnny, we kind of had a college night one night, and we were talking about similar issues, just trying to develop relationships with people in different churches and different denominations. And one thing he said was he was talking to one guy, And, they're kind of going back and forth about some of the secondary issues and stuff. And Pastor Johnny was like, can we at least agree? Like, if you think about it, I don't know that any of us are 100% right about absolutely everything.
No, there's
And
no
so
way.
he was like, can we just agree on the fact that we're both probably wrong somewhere? Can we agree on the fact that we both love Jesus and love his people? And can we start there? And then just like, let's just let it kind of go from there. And so that's kind of shifted my mindset. That's been probably 3 or 4 years ago, because when I first started out as well, it was, I didn't get saved till I was 17, like I said, at an Assembly of God church. And the beginnings of that was like, I'd see some of the stuff other denominations were doing. I'm like, bro, what the heck? I didn't understand, like, not everybody's going to believe the same exact thing down to the very minute, differences or whatever. But we all do, I think we all do believe in Jesus and love Jesus and want the best for, his people, and want to love his people and see lost people saved.
Mm.
And if that can kind of be our starting ground, I really think that's where you'll really start to see a city changed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I thought that was really cool what you said.
I grew up kind of similar to what you were talking about, where I had a belief that the denomination that I was in was dead set right. And, like, I would get in arguments with people from other denominations and be like, why do you think that you're right about this? And literally was thinking, like, the denomination that I was a part of was the only denomination that was going to make it to heaven when it came down to it all.
So you were Jehovah's Witness?
Oh, wow.
Not quite. But I literally spent, like, a good majority of my early Christian life just attacking other denominations. When in all reality, if I could have focused that same energy, could have been out talking to people who knew nothing about Jesus instead of fighting with people who knew so much about Jesus, just believed a little bit differently. And then finally, God opened my eyes and was like, you can't attack my people.
Yeah.
Those are my people too.
But it's kind of crazy because this whole together idea is your idea.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So it's kind of wild.
It took years of growth. And then finally I was like, we're not supposed to be apart. I'm not supposed to attack my brother or sister. And we need to be getting together and doing life, doing ministry, doing this kingdom walk together.
Yeah.
So
We had a really good night 2 nights ago, our first Together Live night. We had at least 14 churches that I know of that were represented.
I think so.
Probably, we've kind of guesstimated probably over 200 people.
Yeah,
that were there.
I guess 234, but I don't know if that's right or not. I should
It's
guess.
probably pretty.
it's pretty specific. I
Yeah,
like it.
234 exactly. But nah, dude, that was a really cool night, I thought. And I remember a couple months ago, somebody hit up in the group chat about like a joint Wednesday night service, and it was like, dude, that'd be awesome. We kind of got together at a meeting, and thankfully, or I'm just grateful that we all kind of threw it under the Together umbrella, and just thought that was really cool. Different denominations were represented. I think the vast majority of the churches that were there were Baptist churches. A couple of non-denominational churches were there, but just crossing down denominational lines for a Wednesday night service is kind of unprecedented and unheard of. Like, if you think about it, it's not something that just casually happens. And the fact that we were able to do it to the success I think that it had was really amazing, I thought. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I would say I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know pretty much everybody in that group text was like, man, we got to do this again once a quarter, and I hope we do it again together once a quarter. And so it's definitely something that is cool to see. Like, again, we could just do our services all by ourselves on every Wednesday, and that'd be fine. But
Right.
I think like y'all said, we're better together, and it's one of those deals where, man, the world needs to see that we've come together even though we're different. And we went and worship at the Sportsplex, and we talked about other ideas of maybe doing that downtown next time or something. Like, if we're going to reach people, we got to think outside the box. We can't keep doing the same thing and expect to reach different people. We're going to keep reaching the same people, and so thinking outside the box, doing things outside the box, doing things differently, but worshiping the same God, I think will lead to the Great Commission being accomplished and starting right here in Jones County. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I think the thinking outside the box thought needs to happen a lot more. Like, I know a lot of people have kind of jumped on board with doing some stuff, but I think just the day and the culture and the society that we live in, like, traditionalism is just kind of becoming less and less popular. People want to do things differently, and so yeah, I'm always on board with kind of trying to think of different ways that we can have services together for sure, but also like go out and reach the lost. And so yeah, I thought the Sportsplex idea was really cool. Like you said, we talked about a couple different ideas for next time. So pumped for that. But yeah, again, I thought all in all it was a good night. I think other than the only like really hiccup we had was in the first worship song. I think Ryan Richardson, you said.
Shout out to Ryan Richardson.
That man just straight up
What
My man
happened?
just straight up killed the power to it. He was just like, all right.
like our main power switch over at the gazebo. He just unplugged it.
He just
Like,
I
he
was
was
wondering. I was
worship.
wondering what happened.
Yeah.
That's my man Ryan, man.
When everything went quiet, that's what that was. So thankfully,
Wow.
he had the sense to kind of look up and be like, "Oh no,"
Yeah.
and plug it back in. But
That's funny.
Also, shout out to Daniel Sullivan from Crosspoint for
Yeah,
providing an
truly
acoustic
though.
guitar
We gotta
at
hook
the
Daniel up.
absolute last minute and saving our behinds. Dude, that's a goat.
yeah,
yeah,
we were at a
honestly.
crossroads and he came through. At
He really
Crosspoint.
did.
Absolutely. That's right.
if you're watching this and you were at the Together Live and you were like, "Why did we start 15, 20 minutes late?" It's because our guitar that was there just wouldn't work
Would
with the
not
sound
work.
system.
Oh,
So we
man,
had to reach out to
Brother Bob was sweating.
Oh,
he
yeah.
knew he was going to go long anyway. See, when we started late, he was like,
Yeah,
we had
I kinda felt
a
bad.
wager on over under how long is Brother Bob going to go, because Brother Bob can't even begin to pray in 5 minutes, so we knew it was going to be a long one. And I think he went 31,
Yeah, he
but
definitely
it was
went over the.
worth every penny.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Which we didn't pay him, but you know what I mean. So
Right.
Shout out, Brother Bob.
Shout out to Bob.
Did he ever get his
The
cornhole
goat.
boards back?
they're still sitting in my church. But Brother Bob is the goat.
That man said, "I gave the message. I'm out."
Yes.
I'll see y'all later.
Yes.
Y'all, I saw y'all over there playing Ultimate Frisbee. How many people were playing, and how chaotic was the game?
600 people were playing Hagen.
It was
600,000.
too many people
That's a
on
lot
one
of-
court or
Really?
one field. We had 12 on 12,
Oh wow.
and the field was not that big. My team won, by the way. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was a lot of fun.
Goated.
But it was like, can we not just? Actually, I think it was 14 on 14.
Really?
Can we put 7 on 7 on each side of the field? Like that way, we can actually have a window to throw. Like I'm a hammer thrower,
Uh-huh.
and so I threw it as hard as I could, and people were like ducking out of the way. They're like, "Irwin, calm down." So, hey, but we won.
Dude,
I think you want to have 10 or less.
Oh,
Yeah.
We went over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
yeah, I've never played like competitive Ultimate Frisbee. I've kind of played around like y'all did, but yeah, I
Some
just
people
saw
take it
it
more
was like a
serious.
bunch of people out there, so I didn't know.
I went to a Presbyterian summer camp one time many years ago.
was
Shout out
it
to
was
my
predestined.
Presbyterian folks. Oh yeah, in Denver, Colorado, and we entered
Wow.
a ultimate frisbee tournament and lost in the first round. And
Oh.
that student pastor was very disappointed with us. Like, I don't think you'll ever see this. Like, chewed us out afterwards, and we're like,
Over
"Dog,
competitive."
What are you talking about? So yeah, I've been scarred.
If
by
well, if for some reason
That.
that whoever you are that did that is watching this, hopefully you've worked on your anger issues or
I don't know that his anger issues. I think he had very high expectations
And was just let
for that
down.
ultimate frisbee team.
Hey.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, a lot of life is about expectations.
He had the highest
Where expectations and reality don't meet, frustration lives in the middle.
Look at this man.
I mean,
This man's
just
dropping
dropping
bars all
bombs,
night.
dude.
Sorry, Josh.
Straight
I didn't-
You
dropping
made Josh-
bombs.
you weren't expecting that, were you?
It only took 5 episodes for him to walk out, but Dude, that
Andrew
was-
Irwin's gonna be
man's
replacing me on
hammering it.
Focus Files. Oh, on
Well.
Together Talks. Oh my goodness.
Hey, we can do both. Yeah.
Focus
Well, the
Files,
thing is,
Together Talks
thinking
Collab.
outside the box, I usually think outside the bun. Shout out to Taco Bell.
Dude, Taco Bell, nacho fries, yes or no?
Oh, the best. I don't know why they don't have them on the menu all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't they?
I think
They
it's some
gotta
kind of
sell the
marketing
mess
thing
out of
where
them.
they actually sell more if they
During
have them on
that
there less.
season? Gotcha.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Mexican pizza is back.
I got it today.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
I hadn't
but
either.
Shut
there's
your
an
mouth.
appeal to it since it's coming back.
You
Yeah.
got to go get it.
I think I do.
I kind of want to try it. I live over there, like
never
right by
had it?
Taco Bell. No.
Okay.
Taco Bell's pretty much
we're
in my
leaving right now.
backyard.
We're going to Taco Bell Mexican pizza now.
It's going to be one of those, like, you cut, and then we'll come back with like pizza in our
Oh,
hands.
Great stuff.
No, the Mexican pizza is probably pretty good. The nacho fries, dude. So the Taco Bell drive-thru that's here in Laurel, it's kind of like the one in Wendy's. Like once you pull in, if
Oh,
somebody
you're
gets
in.
behind
There's no
you, there's
escape.
no getting
You're
out.
committed.
Yeah, you can't.
I got a
just-
story on the Wendy's drive-through. That
Yeah,
thing,
okay,
and
hit me with it.
it's not just it's like a ridge. So I picked up one of my students one night for church league basketball. Our game's at 7:30. I pick them up at 6:15. We go to the Wendy's in Laurel. The game is in Ellisville. We get in line at 6:30, and we get 4 cars in, and we've been in line for 30 minutes. It's
Oh
7
my
o'clock.
God,
He's
yeah.
like, bro, we're not gonna make it. I was like, I can't go over this curb. So I literally had to go to the cars behind me, and I looked at them. I said, I got an emergency. Y'all got to back out. We got to go. We got to go.
No
so
way.
people are
You did that?
Yeah, I got to go. And they're backing out, and I just go out, and I'm like, he said, what are you saying? I said, I had an emergency. It was just church league
Dude,
basketball.
that is great.
I gotta go drop 6 points in church league. Let me out.
Hey, I had 8 that night.
8. There we go.
Got to get my 8, 2, and 1. Dude, yeah, that's the thing. So the Taco Bell, I went there probably last week sometime. Dude, I just had a hankering for the nacho fries. And like I said, Taco, I live really close to it. It's practically my backyard. So I placed a mobile order for 3 orders of the nacho fries and their like nacho fry burrito thing that they have. And it's kind of late. It's probably around 9, 10 at night. So I drive in, late night Taco Bell, dude, the line's back to 15th or 16th.
It is.
I've been here for 3 years. What is it? It's 15th or 16th?
It's Highway 15.
Highway
and
15.
Highway 15th and
16th
16th Avenue. Yeah, okay. So, the line's like mega long. So I pull in, and I wait and I wait and I wait, and it's, taking forever. And I finally get up to the box, to the order box or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I had a mobile order. My name's Hagen Harrison. And she's like, all right, you can pull forward. And then, like, I kind of hear, like, some ruffling going on. I'm like, and then this other lady comes through. She's like, I'm sorry, baby, we had a nacho fries. And so I'm like, I've been here for about 30 minutes. I can't get out. And you had a nacho fries.
And you had 3 of them.
I had 3 of them and the burrito.
They were nacho fries.
They were definitely not. They were not what he said. Not my nacho
Dude,
fries.
Not that
I would have
bad.
been so mad.
I was like, dang. I wouldn't have been mad if you could get out. I'd been like, okay, whatever. You can't help that.
Did
So
you
I
get
just pull out.
anything to eat?
Well, I just kind of, they were taking like a good bit of time per car, so I just kind of pulled up a little bit. I was like, I done waited this long. I'm just going to place another mobile order.
Yeah.
So I canceled that one and placed another one. I got to the window. I was like, hey, I placed another one. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, well,
just did.
I
Can't
did.
do
So,
that.
yeah, it was kind of a problem, but I was like, well, don't be out of nacho fries and we won't have this issue. But,
Exactly.
oh, man, I don't know how we got here.
Brad bought me some Taco Bell and Natchez a couple weeks ago, and it was
Y'all went to
incredible.
Natchez and got Taco Bell. I sound like Pastor James now.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Hold
hold
up.
on. It was like midnight. Everything
Yeah.
else is closed. The options
Yeah.
were like
Oh, okay,
Taco
that's-
Bell or
that makes
like
sense.
Yeah.
churches.
We
Dude,
won't,
don't hate on
we
churches,
won't get
man.
I
into the
will hate on
reason
churches
as to
every day.
why we had to get Taco Bell, but it was the only thing available at that time. So
That makes sense.
And it was fine, bro.
Really.
Got chalupa and all this other stuff. We need to get off this
I love
topic.
chalupa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
so good.
Sorry.
Focus files
Kind of
update.
weird.
It's my
Yeah.
No, it's
Kind of all over the place.
It's all good.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Focus Files.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
we got the hats.
We do, yeah.
Focus files.
Let's
Focus
all
Files hat.
put on our hats.
Taking my talents to Focus Files University.
Even
Brad
Brad
is
has
wearing
his
a
hat
hat.
on.
I promise you, he's been wearing it the whole podcast.
Yeah, you just can't
They-
see him because you
these
don't have a
were
camera on
made-
today.
And they're free. Like,
Dude.
obviously it cost somebody, but it didn't cost me.
A cool hat and free. I mean, come on. Well, maybe not free for you. Maybe you have to buy. I don't really know how that works for the
No,
general
if
public.
you're a First Baptist Laurel student, you have first dibs. Then after that, I will charge $10 to anybody that's not in this room.
Man, I'm about to make a profit.
Man said, "This
Yeah.
is going somewhere."
So, all right, tell us because you've told me before, so I kind of know. But for our people watching and listening, tell us the story of the Focus Files. What exactly is it? How did it start? And how's it going?
Okay, first off, if you want to follow Focus Files, just follow me on Instagram or get on Facebook. Goes to both. And so it started
right.
out with my students one night. We're just sitting in our youth room on a Sunday night, and somebody was like, "Irwin, what do you do on a normal day basis, like
Yeah.
weekly basis?" They couldn't believe that I actually work at the church.
Yeah.
They thought I did some other job.
They just think
I
you
said,
show
"No,
up
I
on
work-"
Wednesday nights and preach.
Exactly.
That's kind of it.
And so they said, Irwin, you should make a vlog. And I was like, well, first off, what is that? What's a vlog? And they're like, you just video your life. And I was like, yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. So I started the week of Disciple Now, which was literally the busiest week of my life.
Yeah.
And I had so many things to do because it was not like just a First Baptist Laurel thing. It was a countywide thing.
Right.
I'm kind of over that. And then one of my right-hand people, Micah Hustler, shout out to Micah, he got COVID that week. And so it was like,
Oh, yeah, he did.
man, it was just like a lot of stuff to do. And so I went through the week, videoed all that, and if you want to go back and watch it, you can. Some of my highlight reel on my Instagram page. And then I gave people a chance to vote. It's like, hey, if you don't want me to continue to do this, and honestly, I was kind of wanting to stop.
Uh-huh.
And everybody
My man
voted.
burned out on it.
Everybody said, please keep doing this, except for one person. And I forgive that one person.
You said that the other day. I kind of am curious who was the one that said no, but also I don't.
I think it was my sister. She was a little.
Oh
she's a
man,
little
is her
salty.
name Abby? What's her name?
Yeah, Abby Irwin.
How dare you, Abby?
And if it's not her, I apologize, Abby. But It's going really well. People say they like it. It brings them laughter, and like anywhere I go in Mississippi or wherever, people are like, "Hey, people that know me are like, hey, can I be on Focus
Right.
Files?" So it's turned into a kind of a joke, and I think it's funny, and I can't take myself too seriously. So
Yeah.
people are like, people want to. I even tell people, "Hey, you should do your own vlog," and I've had some imposters, and
Is Garrett Burley one of those?
no, I allowed Garrett to do it.
Oh, okay.
And Garrett,
Allow.
no, I didn't mean to say it that way. No,
I gave
Garrett's
him
funny too.
permission.
But some people like.
Does he?
Try-
I don't even think
tried
I
to
follow
copy
him.
me.
Does he do it? Does he do regular like vlog?
Occasionally.
Okay.
But I tried. There was some people that really tried to copy it, and I was like, no, just do your own thing. Don't try to be me.
Yeah.
Like we're all unique, and that's why some people said it works for you because you're just kind of goofy. And I was like, well, I guess that's a compliment. I don't know.
One of them backhanded compliments.
It's like, okay. And so,
Yeah.
we have some good names for other student ministries that do their own vlog, like
Yeah.
Micah Huster, Salt Selections.
Salt Selection's good.
We didn't come up with one for Nathan.
Josh has a couple good ones. Nathan's News.
Nathan's News.
Nathan Davis.
now-
Shout out to Nathan.
Shout out to Nathan Davis.
You had the Hustler Highlights.
Hustler
That was the one
Highlights
you had
is
for
one that I
Micah.
had.
Ben East. I'm not sure.
Ben's was like Ben's Blockbusters or like something
Ben's
like that.
biographies.
Ben's biographies.
know.
Yeah.
I could work.
We had a couple good ones though. I could kind of get thrown into the highlights. Hags' highlights.
Bob Taylor.
Yes, Harrison highlights.
Ooh, the Harrison highlights.
Taylor's
Bob's
Tales.
What brother was we just called the goat?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was gonna say Taylor's Tales, but
Taylor's
would
Tales.
work. I'll say this: I remember when you first started the Focus Files. I was like, what's this dude doing?"
I was
But
thinking the same
now,
thing.
bro, it's crazy. Now, like, I have a genuine interest in your Instagram stories. Every time I see one, I'm like, I gotta see what this man's putting up
and
there.
I know what to expect
Same.
with Focus Files. Either my man's getting some Crumbl,
Oh, goodness.
or I just know that some point during the Focus Files update, my man's gonna
Oh,
perfect
no.
that hair.
People make fun of me about that all the time. They're like, "Why do you do?" I was like, "Because I don't check my hair before the camera."
So what
And
happens?
so when it happens, I see a hair out of place, and I'll just be honest. I have like a obsession with my hair because I feel like
It's
that's
great.
the only good part of me. You know. So,
No,
Man,
don't say that,
don't
man.
think
Do
that.
not. That's not true. Don't apologize either.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
you tell
You're
him,
right.
Brad.
You're
Look,
right.
so it's I won't do it. I won't imitate, but I love it. I know what to expect now.
Yeah.
Focus Files
Hey,
update.
I'm glad it's predictable.
And I've never seen anybody travel as much as you do. I feel like
Oh
every
my
day you're in
God.
another
That is
city.
true.
This
That
man's
is
like Focus
true.
Files
Well,
update from
The month,
Wisconsin.
the month of April was crazy.
Really?
And I committed to a lot of different things. Went to Atlanta for a ministry thing, which would be a whole episode by itself. Then I went to 4 different Bible drill places as far as like drills for me to be a judge. And then what else did I do? I went to the coast. It was like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But it was most of it was ministry related.
Right.
And so when I got back in the month of May hit, I took a nap. And so it's been good.
I hear you.
There's two things
Dude,
that
I
I
love a
know.
nap.
There's two things I know my man Andrew Irwin loves from watching Focus Files. One is Buc-ee's.
Amen.
Oh,
Shout
yeah,
out to
Buc-ee's,
Buc-ee's.
bro.
Buc-ee's
The
is the best.
second-
Buc-ee's and Loves are not even in the same category, people.
No, not
man's ready to
even
fight.
close.
If you
No.
only have is Loves, okay, good option. But if you have a Buc-ee's and a Loves,
Right.
You going to Buc-ee's?
Loves turns into hate, you got to go to Buc-ee's.
Oh my gosh.
Makes sense.
The second thing that I've come to expect
It's a
is an
Crumbl
update
cookie.
on the Crumbl Cookies. And
Dude.
we've actually got some. in
Andrew
the
brought
building.
us
All right.
Dude.
some Crumbl Cookies.
Hey, I need to ask
That
a
one's
question.
Which
real,
one's mine?
Real
Is this
quick.
Blake?
Mr. Bradley
That
has a
peanut
question,
butter? Okay.
folks.
What?
Hit us, Brad.
I've never heard of Crumbl Cookies.
Are you kidding
Andrew,
me right
will
now?
you give a history lesson?
So,
Here's one
Are you
for
serious
here's
right
one
now?
for
I
Josh.
am.
That one's for
Brad.
You are
and
the
then
man.
me and Hagen are split these
Okay.
two. So Crumbl Cookies started in 2017.
Oh my god.
I just found this out the other day because I was at Crumbl 3 different times. And
Where
one
are
day,
they located?
there's one in Madison, one in Gulfport, and I'm sure you're on here wondering, why was he there 3 times in one day? One, I had a meeting in Starkville. One, I had a date. 2, I probably even shouldn't have said that. 3, I came back and got these for y'all.
Dude,
Hey, shout out.
Hey.
Much respect.
Bro.
Dude.
I love it.
White
I just tried
chocolate
the
chip.
peanut butter one. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's your half of the peanut butter before I just
I mean,
eat
let's
it.
just take.
Let's just take a bite.
Let's just look at the size.
Yeah,
Oh.
show the camera. If you're listening on Spotify, you won't really appreciate what's going on right now, but
There's about to be some ASMR
Matt
in this
ASMR.
podcast studio.
What is ASMR?
It's where you make like noises. So like,
It's like that commercial where that girl's like talking really softly and hitting her fingers on the glass.
Yes, that's ASMR.
Yeah, somehow I ended up on ASMR TikTok one night, and like
Those are good.
you'd scroll through and you'd go on somebody's live, and they'd be like, they had like the tinfoil over the mic, and they'd be rubbing stuff on it. I'm like, I hate this.
I gotta get at least one more bite here.
I can assure you, I'll be saving the remainder of that.
Oh yeah, I gotta save
So
some
I
for my
can-
fiance. I
you,
told her that you were bringing us some. She's like, I want some
Finish
Crumbl
it with a
Cookies.
glass of
Isn't
leche.
she in Kentucky?
Yeah, you know what? She is.
Eat your Crumbl cookie.
Crumble,
Claire, if you,
Crumbl
if
will
you come
make
back and I
In
don't have a Crumbl
Kentucky?
Cookie for you, I'm so
crumble
sorry.
will make you crumble.
Hey, low-key though, I've said this from, well, not from the beginning, but probably for the past month or two. This man, before it's all said and done, if he keeps up with the Focus Files, he's going to be a paid sponsor for Crumbl Cookies. So,
Honestly.
Crumbl Cookies, if you're watching this, pay this man. He promotes y'all like nobody else.
I do.
And Buc-ee's. And berries.
Berries.
Burgers.
Hey,
That's
shout out to
another-
Berries.
Shout out
Burgers.
to the onion rings and the double cheeseburger.
I don't think they're going to shout you out back, but.
No, they won't. That'd be very sad.
Oh my
My
god.
man with the dad jokes, killing it. Okay, this is my first experience of a Crumbl Cookie. Incredible. Macadamia, real quick. I think this was white chocolate.
There's no macadamia.
Just
But
white
there's
chocolate.
just white chocolate.
I think me and Brad are
Oh,
waiting
wow.
until we get a
But
nice cold
Micah
glass
called that
of
the Jason
milk.
Williams
Yeah.
cookie.
Okay.
Old basketball player. He was named.
Yeah,
his nickname
yeah.
was White Chocolate. Could pass the ball to anybody. So
Like, I want to finish this now.
Right.
But oh my goodness.
Yeah,
with
Brad loves
vaso
milk.
de
Imagine it
leche.
hot.
oh yeah,
Oh, put it in a
dip it
microwave?
in. Yeah, good choice.
Brad's a big milk guy. We had a man night one night, and this dude just shows up like a gallon of milk. I think you were there. You tell the story. I wasn't there. I've just heard.
Oh yeah. So like, I'm gonna sit my Crumbl.
Was it the
cookies
gallon
over here.
challenge?
No,
Oh,
we
no.
were.
I
We
couldn't
were
do
having,
that.
He just had a
It was a
hunger for
men's
or thirst
camping
for it.
retreat, and this is
Yeah.
like one of the first times I got to have a conversation with now my good friend Philip Bradley Smith. Shout out to Brad.
With
You
the
were
long hair
probably
and the black
thinking,
shirt.
What
And
is this guy doing?
I show up. I'm with my buddy Hunter, and we're out there chilling. And
It was late.
it was late. It was late in the evening. Brad's got his tent set up. You know, that night we had some fried chicken. We had some baked chicken. And we got all these fixins, all these sides, and we're having a blast. And all of a sudden, I'm standing here with Brad, and Brad's just kind of getting antsy. He's just, I'm like, Brad, you good, man? Like, do you need to take some medicine? Like, what's going on? You all good? He's like, just wish I had like a nice glass of milk, you know, like a tall, like just a gallon size jug full of freaking milk. And I was like,
For it.
what? I was like, I love milk too. I ain't gonna do that though. I just take fried chicken.
I mean,
And
it
then
Not
he
a great
was-
combo.
was almost bedtime.
I just think
Right.
I just think of that clip from a movie. I'm not gonna say the movie, but milk was a bad choice.
That could be
Sometimes it
a lot
can
of
be.
movies.
But
Stuart Little.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it after. Yeah.
the
Right.
news show.
Oh, gotcha. But it's always been a running joke. It could be 300 degrees outside, and I can roll by Brad, and I'd be like, Brad, what would make life better right now? He'd be like, man,
glass of milk.
glass
Now,
of
do you
cold
go
milk.
chocolate? Or
I
just-
do like chocolate.
What's your favorite brand?
Ooh,
That's a great question.
Borden's good.
Definitely
You know Borden.
not Borden.
So
What?
the Borden,
No.
what the
No.
Borden company, the son of the Borden like company, William Borden was a missionary.
Really?
Yeah,
So
he gave up his inheritance, like all the money, to go be a missionary. So that's like, why not drink the milk? You know,
Wow.
Well, I in growing up in
don't
high
drink-
don't
school.
you feel bad
don't
for
drink,
not
hey,
investing
don't
in
drink
Borden
the
now?
Kool-Aid.
The
drink the
local
milk.
Dairy Fresh, see, they're not. Borden bought them out, but Dairy Fresh at the time, the owners of that went to our church, and so I got a job working for
I see.
them early on. I first started washing their trucks, and then kind of moved on to supplying it in the stores. But I can't even like. I'll be honest with you, the grocery store and grocery depot right over here.
Oh yeah.
Whatever milk brand that is phenomenal.
That's like their version of the Great Value brand at Walmart. I think.
Well,
right?
it's fantastic.
hey, don't sleep on Kroger chocolate milk. It's
I'll
just-
doubt it.
Oh,
Okay.
bro, Kroger's
Okay.
chocolate milk
K. Roger
hits.
Oh, and like
Oh,
that, it's got the
different.
white label.
yeah,
Yeah.
Old,
I think I know what you're
old
talking
Kenny
about.
Rogers can bring it.
Ken Rogers can bring it.
Y'all know all this. We need to have like a
What in
history
the world?
episode.
This is just a history of chocolate
It's like
milk.
information.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, I mean I was just making fun of Kroger. It's not really
that
Kenny
was
Rogers.
Kroger.
I
Kroger
thought
thing.
that was for real. You had
They
me
missed
sold.
it. They missed it.
You hate to see it. We are running low on time though, so kind of want to jump out of here. But this has been great, dude. Thank you, Andrew, for coming on with us.
It's been a blast.
Dude, I've enjoyed this thoroughly. Thank you again for the Crumbl Cookies. hopefully somebody, maybe their CEO will come across this some way somehow. And be
Please
like,
do.
They
I hope
probably
so.
will.
We got to sponsor that, man.
I think they. I mean, they already watch Crumbl
for
Cookies.
sure.
And the
Already
thing
watch
is,
it
I
together.
was
It's
I was
awesome.
an insomnia man.
I am.
But man, it's good. But Crumbl is better. Crumbl will give you insomnia because you want them so bad. You know. I don't know if that makes
Another
sense.
bar from Andrew before we dip out.
That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
I'm
Can
bad
I
because I go to
give,
bars.
can I give some shout outs?
Give some shout outs.
Do it.
Shout out to Andrew Irwin.
Woo! Focus Files update.
Shout out
That's right.
to Focus Student Ministry and First Baptist Laurel.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's right.
Shout out to Together.
Shout out to Together.
Yep.
Shout out to Crumbl Cookies.
Shout out to Crumbl Cookies.
Agape.
right. Shout out to Agape.
Shout out to Agape.
Shout out Pastor James. Shout out to Brad.
To Brad, who you
Yeah.
can't see, but
Shout out to
can
Hagen and Josh,
definitely
Carter
hear.
Harrison.
Thank you. Love ice cream.
Taco Bell.
Shout out to Taco Bell,
Yeah.
Nacho Fries.
Mexican pizza.
And one more time, I know I already said it once, but I got to finish on the same one. Hold on. Shout out to Jesus.
Yeah,
Who brought us all
can't
here
forget,
together.
Can't forget.
Cannot
the
forget Jesus.
Amen.
Shout out to Brad. I'm out.
Shout out to Brad. See y'all.